Sup gamers, and today I've challenged myself to beat Terraria while only using spellbooks, which are a subclass of magic weapons if you didn't already know. Starting the adventure off, I knew it would be tough, and you could probably see why, as I don't have a weapon and won't have a weapon until I make it all the way to the dungeon on the opposite side of the world, go inside of said dungeon and find a water bolt. But wait, you must be thinking, Bigbrogrounds, you silly goose, you can't enter the dungeon without killing Skeletron, and yeah, that's the problem. But hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, because, as the keen-eyed of you may have noticed, I'm currently not at the dungeon. But that's fine, I thought. I'll just walk and it'll be no problem. I promptly discovered that was not the case, getting scared, teleporting away, and building a house. Might I add, with a brilliant dirt feature wall. Then I dug a hole, because the surface was dangerous, unpredictable, and unforgiving. I then died in my hole. After gathering more loot, I started feeling more confident in my abilities. Damn it, I knew this would happen. Now on the surface, I thought I'd take another shot at trying to get over to the dungeon, and what the f*** am I doing? Despite how deranged this may look, my walkway would in theory prevent enemies from touching and killing me. In theory. And guess what? Finally, after an hour of building, I ran out of blocks and had to leave. But then I made it to the dungeon. Circling back to the point I made earlier, I figured out that I could use hoiks, a purposely implemented and not at all broken feature of the game, to push me through the walls of the dungeon and, if I'm quick enough, steal the water bolt before the dungeon guardians kill me. So, to put this plan into action, I scouted the exterior of the underground dungeon in search of the signature blue and yellow books that symbolized a placed water bolt. Fortunately, I found one and began to set up a hoik, which went perfect. Actually, no. I died a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean to the point that I decided to build a small house nearby so that when I died, I had to walk less distance. But that doesn't matter, as once I got through, I was sent right back out. However, I did eventually get the book, and you might not be able to tell through my voice, but I was brimming with excitement. Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I'm waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! So I packed up my things and finally went exploring, for realsies this time, which garnered me a shiny set of silver and platinum armor, which before fighting anything meaningful, I upgraded from. And then I went to space. Going back in time a bit, for an arena, to utilize the water bolt's rebounding projectiles, I surrounded it in walls. And while fighting the king slime, this worked magnificently, aside from when it didn't, which it never did. Confused yet? Did I mention the water bolt is overpowered? No? Well, it is. Waltzing into the Crimson, I almost felt bad for the Brain of Cthulhu. Almost. After such an immense victory, with confidence, I prepared to fight Skeletron by setting up a similar arena to my first, right outside the dungeon, which surprisingly didn't work. Now, some may be surprised to know that the reason I died was actually due to a phenomenon called losing all my health. I remedied this, however, by making my health unlimited. Thanks, nurse. I also thought that I was a tad bit slow. No, not that kind. So I spent hours of my life crafting some boots that made my feet dusty. And look, I'm just gonna warn you, but the next part of this video is pretty graphic. Because I kicked the ever-living shit out of Skeletron. Yeah, f you asshole. After doing the opposite of mourning his death, I was sent to hell, because I utilized unsavory language earlier in the video. So I made some friends, and 1.5 hours of ugly bridge building later, I found myself standing beside a pit of lava, about to sacrifice my oldest friend. And I thought to myself, am I really about to do this? Of course I am. I launched the guide Voodoo Doll into oh, no, I missed. I launched the guide Voodoo Doll into lava, summoning the Wall of Flesh. I dodged the purple eyeball lasers and slowly chipped away at his health, while simultaneously running backwards and not falling over and giving myself a concussion, which, let's be honest, is probably one of the most unrealistic aspects of Terraria. And at about 10 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, the Wall of Flesh squelched out of existence, and I collected my winnings from a quaint little box. I also tried to be funny but wasn't, so I've decided to leave that bit out, just like you should leave a like for part 2.